Hello everyone, I am Apurva Bhamre. I am a first semester student currently pursuing a Masters in Construction Engineering and Management at CEPT University. My student code is PCM 24044. As a part of Studio 1, Construction Project Formulation and Appraisal, the viability of a potential project is investigated from various dimensions. I will be presenting you the feasibility study for the Ashram Redevelopment project. Beginning with the project brief, the ashram is an integral part of a 322-acre master planning proposal which spans 55 acres of land and includes various buildings of historical value and significance. This is a brownfield project. The client is a newly formed ashram trust by the government. The project is funded by the government as well. The ashram is said to have around 11 lakh visitors per year. The main objectives include conserving heritage, enhancing surrounding infrastructure, incorporating green spaces and walkways, and cultural preservation. The project intervenes in three zones, namely conservation and restoration works, new building works, and external development works. In context analysis, the PESTEL tool was used to identify and study various political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and legal factors. These may influence and impact the viability of the project. As the ashram holds great historical significance and is associated with important political stakeholders, the decisions for the project would highly rely on them. Due to the excess footfall, the demand for neighboring industries around its location will also get boosted. It may bring new opportunities for new industries and increase the scope of tourism typologies. In the social context, public perception as to whether a redevelopment proposal will impact the sentimental values of people is assessed. The people living in the current premises may need to be relocated, hence it will affect their livelihoods in many ways. For the technological factor, a major consideration would be the use of traditional materials and techniques as it is an old heritage building. Talking about the environmental factor, a strategic landscape proposal would be necessary to achieve a cohesive circulation with the adjacent urban context. Environmental clearances will also play a major role. In the legal factor, rules and regulations associated with heritage sites and projects would be a necessary consideration along with the role of the main authority over the project. Summing it all up, the analysis shows that the political and economic factors would have great effects on the project. Moving on to the problem analysis, a problem tree was prepared displaying the main focal problem linked to the project and its causes and effects. The main focal problem is addressed to be inadequate infrastructure facilities and deterioration of important structures. The current ashram premise is unable to cater to its large influx of visitors due to lack of parking spaces, walkways, overall maintenance, etc. The existing buildings that hold great value and importance are getting dilapidated and worn out. The effects of this problem include firstly, the loss of values and thoughts amongst the ashram community. Secondly, the ashram, which was said to be spanned across 120 acres, is now spanned only across 5 acres of the land. Thirdly, the structures of national importance are about to get vanished. And lastly, the existing infrastructure is causing inconvenience to the visitors. The causes of this problem include variable ownerships of the existing land, miscoordination among the trust owners, inadequate finances to run and maintain the ashram, and property encroachments. Option analysis was done that included providing 4 options for the project. The first option was to keep the structures as they existed and include unidentified structures. The second option was to only conserve and restore the existing structures along with the unidentified buildings. The third option was to conserve, restore and amalgamate new buildings into the campus with the incorporation of new technological tools, campaigns and exhibits and the development of adjacent areas. The last option was to only enhance the surrounding infrastructure. The third option was chosen for the project considering its need to accommodate new facilities in such a way that it shall not tamper with the existing buildings. It should amalgamate benefits such as the use of technology, campaigns and exhibitions which would add value to its design. Surrounding area development would also attract and accommodate more visitors to the campus. A work breakdown structure was prepared considering the scope of work involved in the project. various stages of the project life cycle. These include the initiation phase, planning phase, design phase, procurement phase, construction phase, and operation and maintenance phase. The initiation phase includes the appointment of a project management consultant by the client. The planning phase involves a feasibility study, site investigations, documentation, and most importantly, project clearances. The design phase will include the preparation of a master plan and concept design, tender preparations, landscape design, and appointment of a structural consultant, MEPF consultant, and exhibition curators. In the procurement phase, two contractors should be procured, namely a conservation and a restoration contractor having relevant and specialized experience and a principal civil contractor for the construction of new buildings along with external development works. The construction phase is broadly divided into three work packages. Work package 1 will comprise of restoration and conservation of existing buildings. Work package 2 will comprise of construction of new buildings such as an auditorium, exhibition center, cafeteria, etc. Work package 3 consists of external development works such as landscape work, construction of a compound wall, and infrastructure services. Lastly, in the operation and maintenance phase, an O&M agency would be appointed for the maintenance of existing buildings, landscape grounds, plants and machinery, etc. A cost breakdown analysis is carried out for various project phases. In the initiation and planning phase, 1% of the total project cost would be allocated for different deliverables as shown. Around 3.5 crores would be needed in both these phases. The design phase contains consulting charges for 4 design agencies. Overall costs required would be around 30 crores. The highest costs incurred would be for the master planning or architectural consultant in the design phase. The construction phase will consist of 3 work packages. The conservation and restoration works incur costs of about 134 crores, the new buildings of about 25 crores, and the external development with the highest cost of 195 crores. From the analysis, we infer that the total capital cost of the project is derived to be around 466 crores. The maximum costs are incurred in the construction phase of the project life cycle, out of which higher amounts would be required for package 3, that is for external development works. Further, O&M phase would cost around 5.6 crores with higher amounts needed for the staff salaries. To sum it all up, the major conclusions drawn are as follows. In context analysis, the most influential factors are the political and economic factors. The focal problem is identified to be a lack of infrastructure facilities and deterioration of existing structures. The option chosen for the project is to conserve, restore, and incorporate new buildings with enhancing technological facilities and external development. Work breakdown noticeably involves the segregation of the construction phase into 3 work packages: conservation and restoration works, new building works, and external development works. Finally, cost breakdown concludes that maximum costs would be incurred for the construction phase, especially for the external development works.